I want to talk about Jesus and why I see Jesus as a magic mushroom. I don't see Jesus as a man, because to me that's the character they call Jesus. I see Jesus as the code name, the secret code name to the sacred magic mushroom. Why do I see it that way? Well, many reasons. Let's start with the facts. The facts are John Allegro was a scholar of languages who was asked by the Pope and the Church, the Catholic Church, to go and decipher the Dead Sea Scrolls. He was the only non-religious member of a group of 9, and he discovered the Copper Scroll. And when he deciphered the Copper Scroll, it gave him the clue that he was looking for, which was he was seeing a certain symbol all through the Dead Sea Scrolls, through the Copper Scrolls. There was this one symbol that was being used continually. And when he worked out what that symbol meant, it meant magic mushroom. And that's when it dawned on him that these people that wrote the Dead Sea Scrolls were nature-loving, a cult of sexual beings that understood, very much like the Yaqui Indians, they understood the way of the warrior. They travelled inside themselves and they used magic mushrooms to go there. But the magic mushroom was banned, and so they created allegorical stories. Now the word allegory is key to understanding what I'm saying here, because an allegory is like a story of a character or any sort of story that isn't actually the truth, it's hiding the truth. For instance, Santa Claus is an allegorical story for the mushroom, the red and white Anemometus muscaria mushroom. Santa Claus is the allegorical story for that. And Jesus was the allegorical story for the magic mushroom. And God, the allegorical meaning for God was penis, hence the Creator bringing forth more babies and stuff with sperm. So Jesus, the story, is the same as many other stories in different religions, and one in particular, Joshua, who was also crucified. Crucifixion, the symbol of the cross. To me and to them, it was the shape of the magic mushroom. The cross and the magic mushroom are the same shape and the same meaning, because the shaft is the male penis, and across the top, entering the shaft, or rather entering the vulva, get your vulvas out, girls, right, is the top bit. And like that's how they're situated. The mushroom is situated. It's a sexual, sacred plant known as the God plant because of its similarity to the penis. Now, there are people that believe that Jesus was a man and that he had a bunch of merry men, you know, his disciples, and they were all real people, and maybe they partook of magic mushrooms. But whatever I'm saying, Jesus existed as a man, is what they say. But they're contradicting themselves, because an allegorical story is an allegory. It's the truth is the story is the truth, and the story hides the truth. So Jesus was born in a stable. Why was he born in a stable? Because there was no room in the inn? Or was it because they wanted to point out that mushrooms, magic ones in particular, grow in sheep shit, cow shit, and that's where what you'd find in a stable, and that's where you'd find Jesus, the magic mushroom. Now, man's ego needs a suppressant, and these nature lovers knew that, and the suppressant for man's ego was, and still is, the magic mushroom. And we need to all go into ourselves with help from the magic mushroom, because like Jesus says in the Catholic religion, only through me will you reach the kingdom of heaven. Well, that's the same for the magic mushroom. Only through partaking of the magic mushroom can you reach this knowledge of Jesus, the shroom and the world of the shroom, not the man. That's just a cover story. There is no evidence in history of there ever being a man called Jesus that existed. None. But there is evidence in history, like the likes of what John Allegro found. He found this evidence that Jesus was the code name for the magic mushroom. It was the most sacred thing. Joshua was the magic mushroom. In fact, probably most of the gods of all religions are just code names for the magic mushroom, because it's only through the magic mushroom that you can go to that point, and then when you're there, you've changed. It changes you. The magic mushroom changes you forever. You are not the same person as you were before you had the magic mushroom. That's why it's like a saviour. It saves people from themselves, maybe going up their own arse. It suppresses their ego, and it saves them. Jesus saves. But still, apart from the amount of people that don't even know Jesus was a magic mushroom, there are people that have known for years that I believe Jesus was a magic mushroom, that I thought were supporting me, that are now saying to me, no, Jesus was a man who partook magic mushrooms. Please do not go down that road. There's no point. You're confusing yourself. Why would there be an allegorical story in the first place if Jesus existed as a man? There wouldn't. Why would there be the mushroom if Jesus existed as a man? There wouldn't. It's even like Paul, who became Saul. He had a vision on the way to whatever. No, he wasn't a man. He was a mushroom. The Pauline art is all about the ways of the ego-suppressing mushroom. If you follow the Bible and its ways, it's hard, because someone said to me, you can't pick and choose. If you're going to follow the Bible, you should take it all. But I said, well, hang on a minute then. Why weren't the Judas scrolls, the Judas Gospels, why weren't they included in the Bible? Why did Pope Constantine pick and choose who he was going to, what Gospels he was going to put in the Bible and what ones he was going to leave out? And what about Agenda 21? There's 21 Psalms, 21 verses. I'm not versed in the Bible, but, you know, I've just been watching a bit of YouTube. And Agenda 21, the reason it's called Agenda 21 is due to the 21 Psalms or something. And basically all the four horsemen of the apocalypse and all the rest of it can all be worked out. So what we're saying here is the New Testament wasn't created until around the 1500s. And at that time it was in Latin, so there wasn't an English speaking person that could understand the Latin that was on the ground level, you know, like the poor people. They weren't taught Latin, they weren't even taught English, they weren't even taught how to read and write. So this Bible was put into their world, and they were dictated to by the priest or the vicar who said what they said about it, and we all took that as the facts, as the truth. Jesus the baby. No, Jesus was grown. Jesus wasn't born, he was grown. The story of Jesus being born is the truth of the understanding and the recognition of the magic mushroom cult. I am baffled as well by the Messiah complex. Russell Brand, what do you think you're doing? No, I think it's brilliant what you end on and everything. I'm totally into it. But one thing you didn't mention, you mentioned the cross being male and female energy. That is true, because it comes from the mushroom and the shape of the mushroom. And that's the thing you didn't mention, like, and that's what I'm saying. People with a Messiah complex don't realise that Jesus was a magic mushroom, and a realm is there that they could fall into, but like their egos, because they're not partaking of the mushroom to get into the world of the realm of the mushroom, they're just going, using their egos to become Jesus, you know, the Holy One. And no, I'm Jesus, no, I'm Jesus, you know. None of you are Jesus. The only way to have Jesus within you is to partake of the flesh of the magic mushroom, codenamed once Jesus, eat it, trip out. After that, you ain't got to do anything, because you come out the other side, you're now a warrior. That's how we start the cult of the magic mushroom.
From the corpse it's meant to repel them.
So, these are all the secrets of our ancestors. This is the great secret the Templars were hiding. It's the treasures of the Templars, it's Solomon's mines. It's the truth. All the stories of treasure are allegorical, because the treasure isn't gold. The treasure is the secret and the knowledge of the magic mushroom. Although I have known people that have been taking shrooms and philosopher's stones and just about any other drug they can, and they end up having they've had a Messiah complex, and they thought they were Jesus and that, and those basically just tripped out of their heads. Really, the only information these people needed was, well, Jesus was a mushroom. So obviously people, everyone, man, woman, child, is going to feel the realm of the mushroom within them. And yes, you can go there without mushrooms, but I wouldn't recommend it, because how do you get back? Because surely then you are mad, because you've got no other reason to be in that place of the self. And so mental health is, yes, connected to it, and people have their fears, and the mushroom has been feared throughout the ages, forcibly as well, you know. I mean, look at shrooms. They put out shrooms at a time when I was putting out loads of videos about Jesus being a mushroom, and to me it's just like a propaganda film, because they've got the money and they're going to make this movie of propaganda against the magic mushroom, because it's like the Templar's secret, you know. You can't let that out. And even if you did, who's going to believe you? No one. they'll all just say you're mad, and quite frankly, we're all mad. I'm mad, you know. But it doesn't mean that it's not true what I'm saying. John Allegro existed, he did decipher the Dead Sea Scrolls, but the church didn't want that information out there, even though it did get out there in a few newspapers and that back in the day. The information got quickly squashed. I mean, I had his book, which was banned, The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross, and I hadn't even really read it, and someone gave it to me online. And so I put it on my website. Next thing you know, I'm getting threats that I'm going to get taken to court if I don't take this down now. And who was that? Jan Irvin. And then it turns out Jan Irvin's gone and bought out the whole Allegro estate, got in with the daughter, and is putting out his version of the book, and obviously he wants them to make money off of it. And my version that someone had just given me randomly, that was just going round the internet, it even had "fuck you" written on it to anyone that didn't like the fact that this is there, you know, because the book had been banned by everybody. Why bother banning the book then if his information was just a joke? Because if you read it, you'll see it's true, and you'll realise that your conditioning, you know, is wrong. You've been given false information all these years, depending on what class you come from.
Home, home, home.
It's their fucking home. Alright.
Past realities, a conscious death is calling me. Indigenous ways follow me, take me home. Thinking of all the things we see, and they're just for you and me. Unavoidable facts to see, taking me home. Home, 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 home. Taking me home, 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 home. Taking me home, taking me home. Aborigines suffering cause the land's not free. What day is their destiny? It's their home. The white man will refuse to see. Allegedly the land is free. The white man will refuse to see. It's their home. Home, 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 home. It's their home, 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 home. It's their fucking home. It's their home. Living in a poverty, the reservation with me. Still the suits bound to sea. A slum's home, indigenous folk pushed away, hidden from the light of day. I believe you don't want to hear them say, that's my home. Home, 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 home. It's my home, 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 home. It's their home. It's the home.